Hello, everyone. But before you casually snap your next chocolate bar, have you ever stopped to wonder what really goes into creating something like a KitKat? Because what seems like a simple, crispy treat is actually the result of a process so controlled, so precise, that it almost feels engineered rather than made. Since its introduction back in 1935 in the UK, KitKat has evolved from a basic confection into a global phenomenon, now produced by massive factories operated by Nestlé, where technology and tradition collide in ways most people never see. Every single second, nearly 700 KitKat bars are consumed around the world, adding up to an unbelievable 22 billion bars each year, turning into more than just chocolate. It's a cultural symbol embedded in movies, social media, and everyday life. But here's the part most people never think about. How exactly does this perfectly balanced combination of smooth chocolate and crispy wafer come to life? The journey begins far from factories, deep in tropical regions like West Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia, where cocoa trees grow under intense heat and humidity. Unlike most fruits, cocoa pods grow directly from the trunk of the tree, and inside each pod lies a hidden cluster of 30 to 50 beans surrounded by a sweet pulp. Farmers carefully select only the ripest pods, because timing is everything. Harvest too early or too late, and the entire flavor profile is compromised. Using sharp tools, they cut the pods with precision, ensuring no damage is done to the tree, because even a small mistake can impact future harvests. Once opened, the beans are removed and placed into wooden boxes or covered with banana leaves, where they are left to ferment for several days. This stage is crucial, as natural reactions break down sugars and develop the deep, complex flavors associated with chocolate. After fermentation, the beans are dried under the sun for nearly a week, reducing moisture to exact levels required for proper storage and transport. Once dried, the beans are shipped to advanced processing facilities, where the transformation becomes more controlled and mechanical. They are roasted at carefully regulated temperatures, unlocking their aroma while removing bitterness, and then cracked open to separate the shells, leaving behind cocoa nibs, the true core of chocolate. These nibs are ground into a thick paste known as cocoa mass, which contains both cocoa solids and cocoa butter, forming the foundation of all chocolate products. To create milk chocolate, this mass is blended with sugar, milk powder, and additional cocoa butter, then refined and processed in concha machines for hours or even days, where constant stirring and heating smooth out the texture and enhance the flavor. The chocolate is then tempered through precise heating and cooling cycles, giving a glossy finish and that satisfying snap when broken. While all of this is happening, another equally important process takes place: the creation of wafers. A carefully measured mixture of flour, sugar, fats, and leavening agents is transformed into a smooth dough, spread thinly, and baked at high temperatures, forming delicate layers filled with tiny air pockets that create the signature crunch. Once cooled to prevent moisture damage, these wafer sheets are layered with chocolate cream, stacked carefully, and pressed just enough to hold together without breaking. The layer blocks are then cut into precise shapes using high-speed machines, ensuring consistency across every single bar. Then comes one of the most visually satisfying stages, the enrobing process, where each wafer bar passes through a continuous flow of melted chocolate, completely coating it in a smooth, even layer. Excess chocolate is removed with precision, and the bars are transferred into cooling tunnels where temperature is tightly controlled, allowing the chocolate to set perfectly without flaws. Finally, automated machines wrap each bar, seal it to maintain freshness, and label it before packaging and shipping across the globe. The entire process is a perfect blend of human expertise and advanced technology, ensuring that every bite delivers the same taste and texture consumers expect. But here's the real twist. After seeing how controlled and calculated every step is, can we still call it just chocolate, or is it something far more engineered than we ever imagined? Because behind every simple break of a KitKat bar lies a complex system of precision, timing, and transformation that most people never stop to think about. Turning something ordinary into something unexpectedly extraordinary, what happens after this point is where things begin to feel less like traditional food production and more like a carefully engineered system designed for perfection. Once cocoa beans complete their long journey across oceans, they arrive at massive industrial facilities where every step is controlled with extreme precision. The moment the sacks are emptied into feeding hoppers, the cleaning process begins immediately, removing dust, debris, and anything that could interfere with the transformation ahead. Then comes roasting, a stage so critical that even the slightest miscalculation can ruin the entire batch. Inside powerful industrial roasters, the beans are slowly heated within a tightly controlled temperature range, unlocking deep, rich aromas hidden inside them. This isn't just about removing moisture. It's about creating flavor at a chemical level. Too little heat leaves the beans dull and lifeless, while too much heat burns them, producing a harsh bitterness. That's why technicians monitor every second, every degree, ensuring absolute precision. As the beans roast, their outer shells become brittle, preparing them for the next step. Once cooled to preserve their aroma, they are cracked open, and a high-pressure air system separates the lightweight husks, leaving behind cocoa nibs, the true heart of chocolate. These tiny fragments may appear insignificant, but they contain the entire essence of what chocolate is meant to be. The nibs are then ground under intense pressure, releasing cocoa butter and forming a thick, dense substance known as cocoa liquor, which despite its name is not smooth or sweet but raw, bitter, and powerful in flavor. To refine this, the mixture passes through advanced grinding systems that reduce particle size to microscopic levels, so fine that the human tongue cannot detect any grain. During this process, ingredients such as sugar, cocoa butter, and sometimes emulsifiers are added, shaping the final type of chocolate, whether dark, bold, or creamy milk chocolate. But even now, the process is far from complete. The mixture enters the conching stage, where it is continuously stirred, heated, and aerated for hours or even days. This step removes unwanted acidic notes and transforms the texture into something smooth, balanced, and luxurious. The longer the conching process, the more refined and premium the chocolate becomes. Then comes tempering, a stage that feels more like science than cooking, where the chocolate is carefully heated, cooled, and reheated in controlled cycles to stabilize its internal structure. This is what gives chocolate its glossy finish, firm structure, and that satisfying snap when broken. Once perfected, the liquid chocolate is poured into molds using automated systems and cooled gradually to form flawless, solid shapes without imperfections. After this, the finished products are wrapped and packaged, ready to be distributed across the world. But chocolate today is no longer just a simple treat. It has evolved into a global industry worth billions, driven by constant innovation and demand. From classic chocolate bars to filled pralines, from intense dark varieties to smooth milk-based creations, the range continues to expand, shaping consumer habits worldwide. Yet behind all this sweetness lies an unexpected connection, because chocolate depends heavily on milk, and milk begins with something far simpler: cows. And this is where the story shifts once again. Out in vast open fields, where green pastures stretch endlessly, another carefully controlled system takes place. Modern harvesting machines cut fresh grass with precision, processing it into finely chopped feed designed to maximize nutritional value for dairy cows. This feed is stored and fermented into silage, providing cows with consistent, energy-rich diet throughout the year. Because the reality is simple, healthy, stress-free cows produce better milk. When cows are relaxed and well-fed, they produce rich, creamy milk, but when stressed, their production drops significantly. So even here, control becomes essential. As cows mature, farmers carefully manage breeding and health, ensuring stable milk production. Inside modern milking parlors, everything is designed for efficiency and comfort. The cows are cleaned, tested, and connected to automated milking systems that mimic natural feeding, extracting milk gently yet efficiently. A single cow can produce dozens of liters daily, while large farms generate enormous quantities every day. The milk is immediately cooled, stored, and transported to processing plants where it undergoes pasteurization to eliminate harmful bacteria and homogenization to ensure smooth, uniform consistency. From there, it becomes the milk found on store shelves, but also the foundation for an entire industry of products, from cheese and yogurt to butter and ice cream. Dairy is not just food. It is a massive economic system supporting millions of people. Yet for most consumers, it remains something simple, something ordinary. But is it really that simple? Because behind every glass of milk lies a chain of processes, decisions, and systems working in perfect synchronization. And eventually, this journey leads to butter. Once milk reaches a factory, it undergoes strict quality checks, ensuring only the best is used. It is then gently heated and spun at extremely high speeds in centrifuges to separate cream from skim milk. Because butter is not made from milk directly, it comes from this rich, concentrated cream. And this cream marks the beginning of yet another transformation, proving once again that what appears simple on the surface is actually the result of a deeply controlled and highly complex system operating behind the scenes. And just when you think the transformation is complete, the story takes another unexpected turn, because the rich cream separated earlier is actually the true foundation of something even more familiar, butter. Before anything happens, this cream must go through pasteurization, a critical step that eliminates harmful bacteria while preserving its natural flavor, ensuring that what comes next is both safe and high quality. Then the real transformation begins inside massive industrial churns, where the cream is continuously agitated in a process that almost feels hypnotic. At first, nothing dramatic seems to happen, but slowly, almost mysteriously, the texture begins to change. The liquid thickens, and tiny butter granules start forming, clustering together until they create a soft, smooth mass that we instantly recognize as butter. Meanwhile, the remaining liquid buttermilk is separated, leaving behind the concentrated richness of butter itself. Within just 20 to 30 minutes, the structure becomes more defined, and what was once a simple liquid now holds its shape as a completely new product. But even now, it's not ready. The butter is carefully washed with cold water to remove any remaining buttermilk, a step that not only improves flavor, but significantly extends shelf life by preventing unwanted sourness. Specialized machines then knead and refine the butter, smoothing out its texture until it reaches that perfectly creamy consistency people expect. At this stage, the butter reveals its natural pale yellow color, soft yet stable, with balanced moisture that makes it easy to shape and use. Once the ideal texture, fat content, and flavor are achieved, the butter is transferred into molding machines where it is formed into sticks, blocks, or bulk portions depending on its final purpose. For everyday households, it becomes neatly shaped sticks that fit perfectly into kitchen routines, while larger blocks are prepared for commercial kitchens and bakeries that require high volumes. Bulk forms are reserved for industrial food production, where butter becomes an invisible yet essential ingredient in countless processed foods. Throughout this process, consistency is everything, because even slight variations can affect quality. Once shaped, the butter moves to high-speed packaging lines where it is wrapped in foil or sealed to protect it from air and moisture, preserving freshness for as long as possible. These automated systems can package thousands of units every minute, demonstrating just how efficient and controlled modern production has become. But before it reaches consumers, there's one final checkpoint. Experts carefully examine each batch, evaluating texture, color, moisture, and taste to ensure it meets strict standards. Only then is it approved for distribution, shipped to supermarkets, restaurants, and kitchens around the world. Yet the story doesn't end here, because even after cream is transformed into butter, another question emerges. What happens to remaining skim milk? Instead of being wasted, it undergoes its own journey, rapidly cooled and sent through sterile systems where it is packaged into cartons, bottles, or pouches designed to protect it from contamination and light exposure. Each package is sealed, labeled, and prepared with detailed information, ensuring safety and traceability. And just when everything feels complete, the narrative shifts once again, this time to something entirely different: peaches. Originating over 2,000 years ago in China, these soft, delicate fruits have traveled across continents to become a global favorite. But behind their sweet, juicy taste lies a process just as demanding as anything we've seen so far. Harvesting peaches is not as simple as picking fruit from a tree. It requires perfect timing. Too early and they lack flavor. Too late and they become soft and unusable. Farmers rely on experience, subtle color changes, and even aroma to decide the exact moment of harvest. Despite modern technology, most peaches are still picked by hand, because machines lack the sensitivity needed to handle such delicate fruit. Workers move through orchards early in the morning, carefully twisting each peach from its branch and placing it gently into containers to avoid bruising. It's physically demanding work, often carried out by skilled laborers who understand the fruit better than any machine ever could. Each peach is inspected as it's picked, and those that don't meet quality standards are set aside, not wasted, but redirected into processed products like jams or purees. Once harvested, the peaches are quickly transported to processing facilities where time becomes critical. They are washed thoroughly, sorted by size, color, and firmness, and cooled to slow down ripening. Advanced systems use sensors and cameras to detect imperfections, while human inspectors make final decisions, ensuring only the best reach the market. From there, peaches take different paths. Some are packaged fresh with protected materials to prevent damage during transport, while others are processed into canned goods, juices, or desserts. Canning, in particular, allows peaches to retain their sweetness and texture long after their harvest season, making them a year-round delight. In the end, what seems like a simple fruit or a basic food product reveals itself to be part of a much larger system, one built on precision, timing, and careful human effort. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Because whether it's chocolate, butter, milk, or even a single peach, what appears simple on the surface is actually the result of an incredibly complex journey that most people never stop to think about.